Hello, Francis.
Hello.
We have received a reference from your former employer, Prism Media Group.
Okay.
The reference states that while you showed general competence and abilities required for your role,
Yeah.
there was occasions when certain tasks you were assigned had to be completed by your work colleagues. Your former employee stated that just prior to handing your notice, that they have scheduled a performance review to address these issues with you.
Okay.
While you were successful in your application, our company, receipt of the reference has brought into the question for your suitability of the role. So this meeting is to determine whether your employment will continue with our company.
Okay.
Shall I begin, Francis?
Yeah. Let's go.
What was your role at Prism Media Group?
It was a similar role to this one. I was one of the. I was a part of a small team of about 4 people, and that team helped with the advertising of different media products that we were tasked to present to the public, and to help show our external clients.
Rightio, Francis. Can you talk us through your expertise and experience you have relevant for this role?
Well, like I said, with my previous job role, before that job role, I was the lead camera op. So when I was going on location, I had to record the different parts for the external clients. And when we did that, it was me, the camera op, with one person just directing everything else, one person presenting out, and one person with the script. My main job, like I said, was I was there having to make sure all the shots are correct and all the details were there.
Very well. Please give examples where you have coordinated or managed a project as a part of a team.
Well, like I said, at my previous job, I was in a small team of 4, and we all often had to come together as that group to make sure all our pieces of work are completed perfectly, and all of the separate parts were at the best of our abilities, like the planning, script writing, presenting, and the camera ops, as well as the editing. But that was done by a separate department.
Okay, Francis. What motivates you?
Well, I want to try and strive to be better in the role I already am. So I'm always striving to that higher position, to that higher power. So I'm just trying to be better in my job roles and try and make sure that motivates me in the future.
What are your greatest strengths and weaknesses?
For my greatest strength is being able to work in a group. But I feel it also goes alongside one of my main weaknesses is that sometimes I do get distracted in that group, but I do try and often stay on topic with it.
Okay. How would you demonstrate your abilities to engage a new client?
Well, I show them different bits of work that we have done, and in that I'll try and help them being persuaded with those bits of work, and hopefully that work persuades them to allow us to do the work for them, and allow them to employ us to help them promote their products or whatever they want to be promoted.
Can you give us some examples on what type of things you promote? Can you give us some examples on some types of things you promote for your job?
Well, for my last job, we promoted a lot of different sports brands, a lot of different food products, and a lot of different charities around the local area.
What relevant digital software programs have you worked with? And can you give us some examples as well?
I don't do that much editing, but in terms of how I have edited, we have worked with Premiere Pro, because that's the main one that we have for all of our different work. And the only time I actually ever used Premiere Pro myself is when we have had to fine-tune different parts of the videos that we've done.
Very well. Moving on. Also, talk us through your camera skills and any of our relevant technical skills.
We normally have a large rig that's like on a little dolly, so that's what I often use when we're doing the different shots. But sometimes we have to go like handheld to get all those up close shots for different products and like the different charities we've been organising.
Have you ever worked on a project where things have gone wrong, and how did you rectify the situation for a successful outcome?
We had a time where we recorded for the charity, but when we recorded, some of the shots were missing due to the SD card reason that they'd been corrupted. So what we had to do is we had to use different parts that we chopped up in replacement of those shots. The video wasn't to the best standard, but it was still a success in the end.
Okay. Yes. How do you review your work / yourself to maintain the highest possible standard?
With our work, we often always have our line manager review it to make sure it's up to scratch. But when we review it ourselves beforehand, so we all look through it and the next day for a fresh mind. And in doing so, we make sure we spot any mistakes that we've made. Then we'll start those mistakes. We'll note them down. Then we will get them recorded and change them.
How do you prioritize multiple deadlines, and how do you organise your workload?
With my deadlines, I often either prioritize them being in how late, like when they're due by, or how serious we need them done by. So let's say we had a higher priority client, we often try to get that one done first and prioritize that over small time clients, compared to with time one where we schedule it. So it's the time for two. Then what was the next part of that question, sorry?
And how do you organise your workload?
The way I organise my workload is I always have different folders, and the different folders are labelled, so I know each part of the work is, so they're not mix up with other clients' work. Just
to mention, surely you should prioritise every single client, not just based on the brand, the popularity.
It was company policy in the last company. I would have done differently, but it was company policy.
Okay. Have you ever been let down by someone that you trusted?
I don't. None that really come to mind. Because people who I trust normally keep that trust. I haven't had a time where someone I've really trusted has betrayed my trust.
Is there anyone that, you've never worked with and you've relied on them? Have they never showed up before to any of your work?
Well, when we were doing a little short music video, one person didn't arrive on time, but that's been it. That's the priority time, I'm guessing, from top of my head. Nothing that major I can think of. That's the only time.
Tell me about an incident where you were totally honest, be totally honest here, Francis, despite a potential risk or downside for yourself in a situation.
I don't think I'm always honest with work I do. I don't think there's been a time where I've done a bit of work that was bad, and I've actively tried to hide it. So if I've ever done a bad bit of work, I've always pointed out, saying it's not my best. I'm going to try and improve what I can upon it, or just redo it.
What would you do if you were given credit for something a co-worker actually did?
I would own up and say that I didn't do this work. I'd give the credit to the person who did the work.
That is very honourable of you, Francis. How would you react if you were expected to work with someone you did not like?
I would have stuck up and get on with it. There's no point trying to avoid working with them. It's the job.
Job's a job, yeah. We'd love to hear that in the workplace. Why did colleagues in your previous employment have to complete tasks which you had been assigned?
I was going through a lot of personal home stress at the time, so I asked for a favour. I know I shouldn't have done it. I should have told my line manager, but I was going through a lot of stuff and my head wasn't thinking straight. So I'd asked my friends I was on the team of to just take off a little bit of that work stress. I did still do some of the work, but most of it was done by them.
Very well done, Francis. Very well done. So thank you today, Francis. That is the end of this interview. We will form a decision and let you know if you got a... Let me redo that part. Thank you today, Francis. This is the end of this interview. We will form a decision and let you know by a close of the play today.
Thank you very much.
You may leave now.
Thank you very much.
Piss off, you silly prick.
Spoiler alert, you didn't get it.
Spoiler alert.